Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and the place to be, it's Deb C. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, and once again, welcome back to my channel. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a terrific Tuesday and a wonderful week so far. I am so happy because I have today off. I have today off because, look at that, because I have to work every Sunday of this month. So they give me a day off during the week in exchange. I like it, and today is that day off. So I thought I would recap Rory, meaning Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I attempted to make me and Dolly a frosted lemonade. Kind of like Chick-fil-A's. Okay, so you did not get a video last night recapping this because we had I'm gonna call them family. They're technically not blood family, but they're family to me, over for dinner. And then the Penguins game was on last night, and I kind of almost wish I didn't watch that because they were terrible. Okay, and they lost. So let's not talk about that. Let's instead talk about Real Housewives of Rhode Island. We're only on the 4th episode, and we have so much more of the season to go. And then the reunion. I'm going to tell you, whoever decided to make Real Housewives of Rhode Island, listen, may you win the lottery, and may your pillow be forever cool on both sides. May you get the best parking spots everywhere. May your life be super blessed for the rest of your life. Okay, so we start off over at Liz's house. Dolores visits. It's the day after the Studio 54 party. They're talking about Rula, and Dolores is like, she's recounting like kind of what happened when Joellen and her husband came up and said they wanted to speak with Rula and her husband. She felt bad. She feels bad for Rula, and I guess she feels bad for her for like how she came up and talked to her, or maybe she just feels bad because of the marriage that Rula's in. But listen, like Liz says, that marriage is over. That marriage is absolutely done. And the question is, why is she holding on? I think she's holding on because her culture is so dead set against divorce. She already had divorced. And in my opinion, to be honest with you, I can't feel bad for Rula. The reason why is because it's been presented to her many times, and it's been like thrown in her face by the mistress online that he had cheated. And she has said that she can't trust him. So anybody who stays in that, I don't know. I don't have 100% sympathy for that person. Liz also talks about her blow up with Kelsey. She regrets that that's how she reacted, and says that it could have been fueled by and brought on by the fact that she drank like a lot. She had a lot to drink. But she does say that she feels like Kelsey co-signed on to this lie about there being something more than friendship between Liz and Dino. She's saying Kelsey co-signed on to this lie because she wants to cover up or deflect from any past issues that Kelsey has with Dino. Also, Liz is upset because Kelsey, and she's hurt. She's upset, but she's really hurt by the fact that Kelsey said this when she knows for a fact that nothing ever went on. Nothing other than friendship has gone on between Liz and Dino. And that triggered her. And it really hurt her because later on we find out that Liz is like, I do have a tough exterior, but on the inside, I'm very sensitive. So, I mean, that did really hurt her because she looks at Kelsey as like almost like a little sister. Okay, so speaking of Kelsey, Alicia, Ashley, and Rosie, they go to Ashley's like favorite beach. They get there and Alicia's like, she didn't say this out loud, but she was in the confessional was like, this is your favorite beach? I belong to a beach club. She could have come to me and we would have went to this. But Ashley likes this beach because like there's no big current that comes up. She can take her kids there. You know, I mean, it's a public beach. It's a decent beach. I mean, you know, it's not a beach club, but it's not bad. Alicia brings pizza chips. Alicia's grandfather founded Superior Bakery. Now, I've never been to Superior Bakery, but I had before this. I did hear of Superior Bakery somewhere else, and it has like a tradition of being like a very good bakery. But those pizza chips, no, that's not chips. To me, chips is like something that's crunchy. Those aren't. That's just a pizza with no cheese. And I get that you want to go to the beach in the summer and you want to have pizza, but you don't want the cheese hanging out in the heat all day. I get that. But that wasn't chips. That was just bread with some sauce, you know? So I don't know. Pizza chips. Tell me in the comments if you would like pizza chips. Or if you're from that area, like up in the New England areas, do you like pizza chips? Is pizza chips a big thing with you and your family? Okay, so they're talking about Rula. First of all, Rula's pissed because Joe Ellen's getting up in her marriage. But here's some real tea. Some real tea is that Rula met Brian, her current husband, met Brian when Brian was married to Alicia's Spanish teacher. And there's that belief out there and that rumor out there that Brian cheated on his wife, the Spanish teacher, with Rula. I'm going to tell you this much. I will say this all the time. You're going to lose him how you got him. And if he cheated with you, he is going to cheat on you. He's a cheater. I'm just saying. That's some tea. But here's the thing though. They're like, he doesn't look like a cheater. And Ashley's like, he's not hot. I'm going to tell you, a man doesn't have to be hot to cheat. Okay? Look back in the universe of cheaters. Do I think PK from Beverly Hills cheated? I do think he cheated. As a matter of fact, I feel like when he was over in London, you know, doing business, I think he was cheating over there. You can't convince me he wasn't. And after they separated, he very, very quickly found someone else. Was PK attractive? PK wasn't hot. Listen, there's all kind of men. Bill Aiden. There are rumors of him cheating. Is he super hot? No. A man does not have to be hot to cheat. A man has to be a man to cheat. But listen, someone's going to say, but women cheat too. Yes, women cheat too. The bottom line is, for a human to cheat, that human being doesn't have to be hot to cheat. They just have to be a human. In this case, a man has to be a man. So that whole thing, if he's not hot enough to cheat, if there's someone out there who thinks, there's someone for everyone. There's someone out there who finds there is someone out there for everyone, and there's someone who can think anyone's attractive. That lady thought he was attractive, either because his looks or his money or who knows, his personality. I don't think it's his personality because I think he's a piece of shit. Based on what I've seen, I don't think he's a great person. So it can't be that. Okay, then they also talk about what happened between Kelsey and Liz. Kelsey tells everybody, you know, hey, here's what happened. And Kelsey is saying that she thinks that Liz should distance herself from Dino because of the rumors. She's like, I don't think it's true. I know it's not true, but other people don't know that, and this rumor's out there, and you should distance yourself from him. In my opinion, here's what I'm thinking. If it's not true, then fuck the rumors. If he's your best friend, then hang out with him. Screw what everybody else thinks. Listen, Liz knows the truth. Liz's husband knows the truth. Dino knows the truth. Kelsey knows the truth. So, and the friends know the truth. So who cares is what I'm saying. And then Kelsey is like, you don't want to feel Liz's wrath. And Alicia comes out and says like, hey, I've known Liz for like all my life. And this is how she is. Like, this is how she is. You got to walk on eggshells around Liz. And even I get scared of Liz And she says, and I'm not scared of anyone, but there are times when she scares me. That's going to come up later. Okay, so Jo Ellen's out of town. She's out of town on business. So her sister Jen is coming over to help out with like the cleaning with the kids. I think this is interesting. And let me clarify. What I think is interesting is when Jen's over there is like kind of like a little bit of a flirtiness between Jen and Jo Ellen's husband. And I think that's interesting and kind of weird because back in high school, it seems like maybe Jen and Jo Ellen's husband had dated, and maybe there was a thing. So I think that's why I think that's interesting. Next is Alicia and Alicia's aunts. Like some of Alicia's aunts and her mom come over. They make the long drive over to her house, and they're an Italian, and I completely identify with this. They come over, it's not even 10 people that show up, and they have enough food for 75 people. That's what Italians do. Italians are going to feed you until your stomach is busting, and then we're going to make you take food home. I know that that's true because that's how my mother is. And my mother is not even 100% Italian. Okay. So I know that that's true. We're going to feed you to the point where you're so full, you're going to be sick. And then do you want to take food home? You're taking food home is what it is. Okay. So Alicia's aunts and some of her aunts and her mom are there. And then Liz comes over, Rula and Ashley. So, we find out Alicia and Liz's moms are best friends. Rula's family has known Bill's family for for over 30 years. Like her family patronizes his businesses and vice versa. And then Ashley, I like that Ashley's over there and she's kind of stepping out of her comfort zone from just hanging with Rosie. I like that. So first of all, they're talking about Bill. Everyone loves Bill. Everybody loves Billy, but Liz is correct in saying that he needs to make it right. And when I think make it right, I mean, get her in on the finances. Like she's the one who came up with Pizza Mama and she hadn't seen a dime from it. He refuses to put her name on the house. Anytime she needs money, she has to go to him and ask him for money. I mean, that's not, you're a kept woman. That's like you're a kept woman. And then if something changes and he don't want to be with you anymore, then you're out in the street and you have nothing. I agree with Ashley. She needs to talk to him about this. honestly, don't marry that man. I'm going to say this right now. That man, I know you're saying you love him and he takes care of you, but does he really respect you that much? You know? Rula gets in on it and she's like, you have to, she's talking about the financial part of it. And Rula says, and I found this funny, but Rula said, it's all about trust. Girl, you're the very last person that needs to talk about trusting people. That one of the aunts says, Rula, are you happily married? And she says, I am. You are not. You are not happily married. You are living in the land of delusion. Rula admits that, yeah, there's been an indiscretion and it's been hard getting past the quote unquote lying and twisting. Thank God for these ladies who have lived life, who have been married and who have been cheated on, because they told her these truths that she just doesn't want to hear, that men cheat. And the aunt was like, I don't think you're the type of woman that wants to look back at it and be the person who is like constantly, what did she say? Do you always want to be looking over your shoulder? I mean, and she's trying to say, well, Rula's saying, well, he's a good provider. He's a good provider and we have kids. That doesn't matter. Hey, you have no trust with this man. He has cheated on you and he's going to keep cheating on you. You have your money. I guarantee you, Rula, if nobody gets divorced from this show, if one person gets divorced from this show, it's going to be Rula. I hope. But I love Alicia's mom because Alicia's mom is like, I hope that somehow you hurt that man. And I agree. I don't mean physically, maybe. But I hope she does hurt him. Okay. So Rosie meets Ashley and her kids. They visit like a petting farm or something. And Ashley, listen, I have written here, oh, Ashley, please don't push kids on everyone, because some people just don't want kids. Some people don't want kids. Some people are not equipped to have kids for many reasons. Just don't push it. And maybe you would be talking to someone in the future and you're like, why don't you try to have kids? Don't you want kids? Who's to say that woman has an infertility problem? Or who's to say that maybe she's tried and she has miscarried? So that's not a great thing to say. But Rosie's like, listen, she's like, I'm very busy right now. Rich is extremely busy. We don't have any time. And she just doesn't think that like it's her dream. Plus, when she was a kid, her mother really did a number on her because her mother was super critical on her. And now she's afraid that's going to carry over from her mom to her. And she's going to be super critical with her own kids. So next up, Jerry. Okay, here's some good news. Jerry, Liz's husband, has sold his boat. So he's not going to be doing sport fishing anymore, which is good because that took him out on the sea quite a bit. Kelsey comes over to help her clean up the boat per Liz's invitation. Liz tells her, listen, I'm sorry. I'm not proud of my reaction, but I was really hurt by the word ongoing because nothing has happened between me and Dino. Kelsey's like, listen, I said what I said. What I said came from the place of like me and my experience with Dino. Like my experience with Dino was vastly different from yours. Mine was not good. She has PTSD. So basically what happened, her and her boyfriend that she's with right now, the boyfriend number one, who's out in Miami dating another woman. So they were having some tough times. So she hooked up with Dino. And it sounds to me like Dino got real clingy. So there was some PTSD with that. They talked, they made up, everything's okay between the two of them. Okay, Alicia. So listen, in the beginning, Rosie had said that had invited all the ladies to go to this thing called Rail Explorers. And it's where there's like a railroad, there's railroad tracks, and you get on this little like pedal, this little like, it's not a pedal bike, but it just sits down on the track, and then you pedal it with your feet. And you just pedal, like three miles out to like the destination, and then you get on it and you pedal back 3 hours to, to the starting point. So Ashley, Alicia, Rula, Rosie, Liz, and Dolores, they go to this. I called it railroad pedaling. Okay. So Alicia, Liz, and Dolores are riding in one car, and Ashley, Rula, Rosie, Kelsey are in another car. And on the way out there, Kelsey is listen, Kelsey, just because you're on TV, that doesn't mean you have to say everything. You don't have to talk about everything. Meaning if you were craving, if you were hungry and you want something to eat, I would say don't eat the McDonald's that's in the trash. She's like, I ate the McDonald's I packed snacks, but I ate the McDonald's that was in the trash. And Ashley fully co-signed on that. She's like, I feel like we could be friends because I would do that too. Alicia didn't seem impressed by that. Rosie says, well, listen, everything that I eat makes me feel bloated. And so Count Rosie is one of those housewives who's on Ozempic, because she is. So she's on Ozempic. She's like, Ashley's like, is it because of the Ozempic? No, she's like, no, no, my stomach's always been like this. And then she went on to tell everyone about how in the past she had colitis. She had to wear a diaper to work. She took a leave of absence, and then at the end of the leave of absence, she was like, I love not working. I'm just not going to go back. And then magically after that, my colitis cleared itself up. And Kelsey's like, she dropped the tea in the confessional because she's like, all right, that's what she's telling everybody. But I and the rest of the state of Rhode Island knows that she was fired. She didn't leave because of medical absence or a medical condition. She was fired for having an affair with a higher up. Okay, just because I was like, it seems like these two are getting along from the first episode, but behind the scenes, they're not. Okay. They get to this Rail Explorers site. And I love how there's one of them that has four seats instead of two, because Rula's in the back playing bartender. She's like mixing up drinks and not doing anything. I feel like that is what I would want to do. I would want to be that person, but not mixing drinks, maybe passing out snacks. Rosie is with Liz, and she asks Liz, so how do you like Ashley? And then laughs. I know that the two of them are close, like Ashley and Rosie, but I would probably tell Ashley, watch out for Rosie, because I thought that was kind of shitty how she brought it up. And Liz is like, I didn't really get that great of an impression of her from the 4th of July party, because she really didn't look at me. And Rosie says, well, you can be scary. And Liz says, well, I've heard that before, and there have been times when I've walked in a room and people have been scared, but she doesn't go anywhere beyond that with that. But here's the thing, though. Earlier this episode, when Ashley went over to Alicia's, she greeted Liz. So I don't see where Ashley is not being, not being super open with her. She talked to her and she greeted her at Alicia's. I don't know if this is just Ashley. This is Ashley just trying to stir something up. Okay, so 3 miles later, the ladies arrive. They have this gorgeous picnic set up, and with these, like, it looks like bonfire areas, and it looks really nice. But Ashley and Rosie go off and they talk separately. And Ashley's like, well, you were brought up during our ride here, and Liz said that the first time I met Ashley, she ignored me and she didn't like me, and she thinks I don't, and then Ashley said, well, she thinks you don't pay attention to her and doesn't want to be friends with her. Listen, this is all a lie. None of this is true. Now they could have just maybe edited it, that whole discussion between Liz and Rosie. But does that sound like something Liz would say? Like, can you hear Liz saying, the only thing that she said was, she didn't look at me. So maybe I could see ignored me, but she didn't like me. She didn't pay attention to me. She doesn't want to be friends with me. Does that strike you? The way that Liz strikes me is, listen, if you want to be friends, that's cool. But if you don't, it's no skin off my nose. Like, she doesn't seem to be the person that's going to chase somebody to be your friend, is what I see. So that doesn't sound like Liz to me. And Ashley in the confessional was like, my mom would always tell me that people mistook her shyness for bitchiness. And Ashley's just like her mom, because Ashley's shy. This is a brand new group. She knows one person, and not everybody is a person that's going to walk into a group and just very loudly announce themselves and be like, oh, that's not Ashley. Ashley's like, I just have to work on it. So all the ladies get together, and Alicia brings up the fact that, like, hey, I'm getting tired of this shit with Billy. Like, my name not being on anything, me not having the money. And she's like, she founded Pizza Mama. She put in money, but she gets no money from it. And her name's not on the house or anything like that. So she role plays with Kelsey, and she's herself, and Kelsey is Bill. And she's like kind of saying what she would say to Bill. All of it is valid points. And she's getting emotional, because the big thing is like him not putting her on the house makes her feel like she's worthless to him. I'm going to say it again. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. She needs to walk away from him. If he can't, that to me seems disrespectful. If he wants to, because it seems to me like he doesn't want to be tied down. Sure, he committed to her, but if he really wanted to be committed to her, like, he would push to set a date, and he would put her name on some things, like put her name on the house and give her some money. Why does he have, that would be annoying to have to go to a man and ask for money when you want to do something. That's, I will always say until the end of this show, she needs to walk away from him. But Rula is correct that she's like, there is intrinsic value in what you do at the home, even though it doesn't bring in any money. Without you, nothing would get done. Like the house wouldn't be taken care of. The daughter wouldn't be taken care of. He wouldn't even have that. He probably wouldn't even have Pizza Mama because she's the one that came up with it. But here's the thing. Alicia's like, I really envy Rula's finances and her financial freedom. But that's the only thing. Listen, that is the only thing to envy, because that marriage, he's a cheater, pumpkin eater. And she's stuck. So Alicia then asks, so what were you two doing? Meaning Rosie, what were you two talking about? Meaning Rosie and Ashley. And Ashley says, well, Rosie and I have been intimidated by Liz. That's not what they were talking about at all. And Rosie says to Liz, I told you sometimes, she says, listen, I told you sometimes you can be scary. I'm not scared of you now, but sometimes you can be scary. So Liz breaks down and tells everybody, listen, I can be tough. I do have a tough exterior, but no, she says this in confession, but she doesn't get close to people quickly, and she doesn't let people in quickly because she's been hurt a lot. So this is like her defense mechanism. And Liz does then say that her reaction to Kelsey, it wasn't my finest hour. I'm not super proud of that. That's when Rosie kind of throws Alicia under the bus a little bit and says, well, Alicia says she's always, that you've always been like that when you get mad. And she says and when Rosie says to Alicia, and then Rosie says to Alicia, when Liz said she hopes she never acts like that again, you should have said it's probably not going to change. And Liz was like, why did you say that? And Alicia's getting super pissed. And Alicia says, I did say that this is how you are. But you, Rosie, you twisted my words, and you're a snake. You have snake eyes and you're a snake. Now, in my opinion, I mean, Alicia did say this. So I'm wondering if she's getting real upset because she is scared of Liz, and maybe like Liz's reaction, because she did say they're both cut from the same cloth as far as like getting upset or reactions. But Rosie acting like she didn't do anything is crazy, because she knows it. She knows she did. She's a pot stirrer. And now that she's getting called out on it, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And Ashley feeling sorry for Rosie. I don't know why you would feel sorry for Rosie. I mean, she brought it up. This is Housewives. Welcome to Housewives. You're coming from The Bachelor. You're coming from Bachelor Nation. Bachelor Nation isn't known for a lot of like screaming and fighting. I mean, there has been some, but never like the drama of Housewives. So welcome to Housewives. If you spill the tea, then you better expect some blowback, you know? I wouldn't feel sorry for Rosie, because she said what she said. She's a pot stirrer. So Liz takes Alicia off to the side, and she's cool with it. She's like, I'm fine. We're cool. Everything's okay. But she's like, this is how I came at Kelsey, and I regret it. I regret that's how I acted. And Alicia's like, but she disrespected me, you know? She betrayed me, and I can't have this. So they go back to the group. Rosie and Alicia talk. Alicia she told her, she said, I feel disrespected. And Rosie then is like, maybe you misinterpreted what I said. No. And she says, Rosie's like, I'm not coming from a bad place. You're coming from a place of, hey, I'm on a Real Housewives show, and maybe she has watched other cities. She probably has, and there has to be a pot stir. She's that pot stir, so maybe just take the title. But all is good. Everything is good, and they're fine. Next week, it looks like there's going to be a big clash between Rosie and Kelsey. And Joe Ellen's back. Thank God. I love Joe Ellen is my favorite. My two favorites on this show is Joe Ellen and Liz. You know, Liz Dolo adjacent. But if I had to pick a favorite, I think my favorite is Joe Ellen. And Rula's husband. So Rula's husband's mistress is posting on Instagram, which is not private. And so then he has to go yelp on Joe Ellen about perpetrating this lie, this cheating lie. Is it a lie? It's on Instagram. Instagram is not private. Instagram is public. It's on a public page that anybody can follow. So I don't know why. And as it turns out, from what I understand, I've heard that Rula's husband is suing his mistress. We have to look more into that. But on Watch What Happens Live, Alicia was on there. She talked about what happened when you said that you hit a woman, you hit a lady on the road. As it turns out, I guess the woman jumped on the car and cracked the windshield. And they went to, I guess they went to the hospital. And Alicia's like, I'm still traumatized. And Andy's like, right, you're traumatized while this woman went through your windshield. I don't know. I don't know why this woman jumped up on the car. Also, there was a question, is your name on the house? Her name is still not on the house. She uses credit cards. I guess he pays for the credit cards. But she always wants to have, when she goes to him for money, she always wants to keep some money in the house. I understand having money in the house. My mom, it's nice to have money in the house in case, you need some to pay, like maybe somebody who washes your windows or cut your grass, or I don't know, or some emergency pops up. Yeah. And she says he takes care of my whole family. So it sounds like maybe he gives the money he supports like the rest of her family. I don't know. So she's like, I'm not going anywhere. So everything that we see this season, her talking about how, she's tired of this. She's not tired of it. It meant nothing. So when we see her talking about this, know that it means nothing. It's all fake. And there was a question about who is your fashion inspiration among like all of the housewives. She said Dorit. So, okay. In the comments, let me know what you thought of this week's episode. If nobody told you yet today, you are loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please, let's spread kindness because it is free. Always be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Let us drink some water. Let us hydrate with some water. This is not water. However, I will be hydrating with water later on. Okay. And also, if you're in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way so you make it through. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye.